Hey guys, welcome to Sippin' and Spillin' with Sid from 3 Mississippi. How are you doing today? I was remiss last week and didn't get very many Sippin' and Spillins out because a series of chaotic events, but I'm doing it today, so that's what's important. Just got out of church, waiting for choir practice to be over. We ended up this morning, I went out to go do my chores and check on the birds and everything, and all but 2 of my ducklings that had just hatched this last week were gone, and one of them was injured that was still there. Like half its top part of its bill was kind of cracked a little bit, and I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna make it. It appears that there was some kind of incident. There was just a few little yellow fluff balls left, like the tails had been left. Everything else was gone. So not sure what happened on that one, but something happened. And we were gone last night until late because we went to Beth and Ryan's house. They were having some friends over from out of town, and so they had a little shindig at their place. But so that was a little unfortunate that, you know, wasn't able to check on them later in the day and kind of, you know, do the normal routines. But these things happen, and I knew with them being abandoned, the way they were in that yard, that there was a chance that they would not make it, but we'll see what happens. Mike has started the electric project in the shop. He's got the lumber. He went and got that yesterday. And Saturday, Frankie and I spent couple of hours doing about 20 of our birds that were out in the pasture. We've only got like 9 left to do, but 20 was a good number to get done for now. And then I think probably next Friday I'll do the last few, which that's good because they'll have another week for those were kind of the smaller ones from the second batch. They'll have another week to kind of fatten up now that the big ones are all gone. So that's good, and kind of takes some of the you know, feeding pressure off, if you will. But I'll be glad to get them done because some of my turkeys, I may move them into that tractor for a little bit. I'm not sure yet, but I might wait and do that more towards the end. I haven't quite decided. Initially, I was going to put them in that when I first got them, but that was when I thought we were going to have another tractor built by then, and we didn't. It's a whole thing. But anywho, but that does get me with my goal of having all of the Cornish processed by the time we have Sip of Freedom weekend at our place in a couple weeks here. And so, you know, we've been kind of planning the menu and figuring out what we're going to do. And one of the meals we're going to do is chicken, so barbecue chicken. So I don't know where we'll get the chicken from, but anyway, yes, we're going to do some of our birds for them. And so I'm excited about that. I love when I can feed people meat that we have raised. I love that. And we haven't been able to do that really since we've been here. I mean, it was really common for us when we lived in California that, you know, when we had a barbecue or when we did an event, we used, you know, pork from our pigs, or we did chicken from our farm, or we did turkeys for Friendsgiving, and, you know, all that stuff. So it's nice to be able to feed people the meat that we have cultivated on our land. I'm excited about that. And I think today we're again working on the electric project after we get home from church. So I'll be filming some of that, so that'll probably be part of Tuesday's video. Frankie's got a busy week of FFA stuff, so there's a little bit of back and forth going on there. And there's some things like I need to make a burn pile. We're trying to get our hands on some, you know, firewood off of our property and our buddy's property that's going to be good for Freedom Weekend as well, because, you know, you don't want it to be, it has to be you know, the tree had to have been dead, and then it had to be, you know, dried for a season and to really be good firewood. So we're locating some big trees that we can kind of chop up and use for that. and just kind of getting some of the finishing touches done. And then the week of, I'll probably be prepping a lot of the food and getting things prepared and putting a few decorations out and doing some last minute stuff. But I've got some burn piles that I need to make from some cleanup that we did, and there's a little more cleanup that needs to happen between the garage and the shop from some of that clean out that's happened, that needs, some old boxes and things that need burned. So I need to make a burn pile this week. I'm hoping maybe Tuesday I can get a lot of that done, because that'll make a big difference in me feeling overwhelmed by the things that are left to do, I think. So I think that's going to be my focus, is kind of hit the rest of the garage, get some of those boxes and things that were trash that were in the shop. Frankie's in the back seat and didn't want to be on Sippin' and Spillin', but she just dropped something, and that was aggressive. So my apologies. But anyway, so that's what's going on with all of that. But I'm excited to get this electric project in the shop going. Again, I don't know if it's going to be finished by the time Freedom Weekend rolls around, to have the extra power out there. We'll see. I'm not convinced it will be done, but I don't know. But Mike did manage to fix that plucker, because like I said, we just did 20 birds on Saturday, and Frankie and I did, and she was a huge help. I mean, when I have to do that many birds by myself, it takes 3 times as long, because there's a lot of stopping, going and getting the bird, bringing it back, doing the scalding and the plucker, and then I can go back to eviscerating, and then that bird can chill out in the cone and bleed out while I'm on the next bird. So it's a little hard by yourself. It just takes longer. But when she helps me, I felt like we had a really good production line going. So I was like, wow, man, we blew through those birds pretty quickly. That now it's like we've both been doing it for so long now. We've done so many batches of them over the years that now it's like, it gets to be kind of just, you get in the groove and you do it. You do the thing. So it all works out. But yeah, so just trying to, countdown to Sip of Freedom Weekend, guys. Lots to do. I would say I'm stressed about it, but I just have a lot of boxes I want to tick off. That's another thing I got to do this week, is get out there and spray some of those. I got all the stuff to do it, but I got to go take care of all the fire ant hills that have erupted in the last couple of weeks. So I need to get out there and get after them, because I don't want people to be walking through that and getting chewed on, because that's not fun. So we don't want that. So I'm gonna try to get after as many of those as I can. And Mike's still working on getting the shooting range that he's building for that done. So got quite a few things left to do. There's some things that we were gonna do, like we were gonna gravel the area on one side of that oak tree, but we felt like widening the driveway and making it like making mud there not an option basically anymore was the better bet for now. And that we got some pop-up tents, and we've got the shade from the tree, and then we have the overhang of the shop, and so and all of that. So we'll be able to have lots of spaces that are like shady and breezy, and it is really breezy over by that shop because it's kind of right on the top of like a little like crest. And so even yesterday when we did birds, it wasn't too hot yesterday, number one, because it's still early June, so it wasn't too bad. But we did have a nice breeze, and there was like no bugs, and it was good stuff. It was good stuff. Highly recommend it when there's no bugs and a good breeze. So maybe I'm praying about it, that we're gonna have good weather for Freedom Weekend, that it's not gonna be mind-blowingly hot, because it's gonna be such a big outdoor thing. I want it to be, I've prepared everybody. I've told them, I'm like, this is Mississippi in the end of June. It's gonna be humid, it's gonna be hot. Like, prepare yourself. But at the same time, I'm praying that we have moderate weather for the event, just because I don't want people to be melting like the Wicked Witches. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. That's all the beans I'm spilling today. Nothing crazy, but we are working on that electrical in the shop today, so hopefully we'll make some headway and have some sparkage before too much longer. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you, and as always, stay blessed and safety's off.